Lumi is in our room already. Yay!
Hold on, I'm gonna see what kind of setup you have going on. Oh, you have the cool room.
Yeah, the cozy room.
Guten Tag, all the German viewers. Hold on, let me pop you out and put you on the screen as well.
Yep, likewise also. Bloop. I'm gonna put that over there. So got everything inside. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Are you hyped?
I'm hyped. I have never done a podcast before, so I'm excited to talk about this thing. Did you know that I'm gonna have a panel in America? I'm gonna do a panel in America, and it's my first panel ever. So I'm very excited for it, but also nervous, but mostly excited, you know.
That sounds so cool. Is it gonna be at a convention or is it?
Yeah, it's a convention. I'll be there in the flesh and bone, and I will say things such as VTubing is cool. You should have you heard of these things called VTubers?
You spread the message, sister.
Yeah, spread the message. But I think there are gonna be like Q&A type thing.
Yep.
It should be fun. It should be splendid. There you go, Fisky.
Thank you.
Coffee Catboy.
I'm in two very cozy places at the same time now. How special.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh,
perfect.
let me turn around, scoot a little bit. There we go.
Hello, Lumi people.
Hold on, your face.
It's frozen. Wait. Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Probably because of the pop out, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's because I popped you out, so I think it should be fine now.
Thank you. And welcome everyone to our cozy, meta talk about VTubers. Lumi, have you heard about VTubers before? Oh.
I might have heard in the passing before. About VTubers. They seem pretty cool if you ask me.
I agree. They seem pretty poggers if you ask me.
That's pretty poggers if you ask me too.
Popping gamers.
I've heard of a VTuber called Kizunai. Have you heard about her?
Yes, she's I think the sister of an annoying orange, who's like the coolest VTuber ever, and the first one.
Oh, I've heard about annoying orange.
Yes.
He has a little scary eyes, but I think that's just a part of his charm, I suppose.
I've dreamt about it, and I was very scared in this dream. It's gonna be weird if you think about it. But maybe we can introduce ourselves a little bit. Lumi, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. There was one last redeem. Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. My name is Lumi. I'm a VTuber from Finland. Yes, a VTuber for a bit over 2 years-ish.
2 years already. Oh. Sorry. 2 years already. Time really flies. Really flies.
It does. How about you, Fisky?
Well,
you go next.
So sorry. I'm actually gonna have my first anniversary very soon, like the middle of February. February 15th was actually the date when I started streaming as a VTuber. And so yeah, almost exactly 1 year that I joined in on the fun, and joined this very lovely and very vivid community of weird and strange but very comfy people.
To think that it has been such a long time already, but not really. You know, it has been a whole over a year, and
Yes.
I feel like the VTuber bubble has been going on for 2 years. It feels like we're in a time loop.
Indeed. Also, it was a very intense time loop, if you asked me, because so much happened over the past 12 months already, or that at least the time that I kind of witnessed. Maybe you can already say something about the time before that. I mean, you started, I think, sometime in spring or summer 2020, right?
2020. July 8th. Yes. I started. Oh, by the way, Fisky, I can hear myself through your headphones a little bit. Can we?
Okay, let me fix that. Then I'm gonna...
Before we get into it too much.
I'm gonna make you a little quieter. Now it should be.
Can you hear?
Is it better now?
No, I can't hear myself anymore. That's
perfect.
Good. That's good.
Otherwise, this would have been probably a bit of a nuisance over the long term. Hi.
So, about VTubing. So it has been 2 years now. I feel like we're at this point that there's so much variety in VTubing, and it has turned into this normal thing that we have in our world is something called VTubers.
Indeed. So how did the world look like for VTubers back in 2020? After all, I just figured it out in 2021, so like in the very beginning. So how looked everything back then already? What was different?
Well, let's say when I first started in 2020, I brought out my first kind of a live 2D model that I made myself. You know, I started with PNG, because that's what me and Mary came up with. And then when we were waiting for my live 2D model to be finished, I made my own scuffy version. I remember people being so like impressed with it. And that feels so strange nowadays because there's these amazing 2D artists that make live 2Ds. But after like I would say like 3-4 months of that, I got my 3D model, which I actually use to this day. So I haven't really used live 2D for that long.
I can't even remember your live 2D model, and I've never seen your PNG. One day you have to show me. I'm kind of curious about what the PNG actually looks like. And
yeah. I can send you one in Discord if you want to. I have it on hand right here.
Oh, I'll definitely.
So you can show us.
Definitely check it out because. Again, I actually didn't know that you started out as a PNG already, but then again, that's kind of what I saw in that year already happening to some, other streamers already. Back then when VTubing was not really much of a thing, or at least not a too well-known word. This certainly has changed. Oh my god, did it? It looks so cute.
So I had 4 different sprites, like characters I could change my expressions with those, and I made videos on YouTube and on Twitter, like introducing myself.
I think I saw that one though. Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So I could easily just change my expressions, not really do much. So I took this one and I put it into the program, which I made my scuffed live 2D model, and I started from there.
So you did it also all by yourself back then?
Oh yeah, this art is made by Princess Hing Hoi, which is one of Mary's longtime artists. So he made this one, and I cut it apart. And I put it into the program. It's not any live 2D program. It was just from like a Adobe, just some kind of random make your own character move type of thing.
My gosh, things were so different back then. Also, you probably used, I guess, Face Rig or PP Live back then for Live 2D?
No, actually. No, not this one. This one I was using I think it's called, Adobe some kind of character animator or something. Basically, I didn't know what live 2D was necessarily back then. I just knew that I wanted to make myself move,
Were you?
Like, I was trying to find ways to make myself move because, you know, although the art is nice, it's not really made for live 2D purposes. It's more of a sprite, you know. You can't really... Well, you could rig this, but it's not really made for live 2D because the parts aren't separated like a live 2D.
Indeed. My gosh. So that was the beginning of Lumi.
Yeah, no, basically. So I remember showing my scuff version to Mary, and he told me that I should stream with it, and I was like, I don't know how to feel about this, but then he said, how about next week?
What?
Basically, like, I wouldn't say forced, but encouraged me to stream. And then that's when I started streaming on Merriweather Comics YouTube, which had over 500,000 subs back then. Wow. So it was I was very nervous about it. So I used to play Minecraft mostly there.
Wow. So you also did start on YouTube as well. Very interesting. Very interesting actually. We're learning about some ancient history here, so you can properly learn from it.
So, I started on YouTube because most of the Hololive, because Hololive English debuted after I started, so I knew that most of the Hololive people streamed on YouTube, so I started on YouTube because that was like trendy back in the day. But I switched to Twitch slowly because I knew that I wanted to grow my own comfy community. So I switched there, and I felt more comfortable with the platform. Although I switched in between before I became partner, but after becoming a partner, I decided to, hey, I'm just gonna you know, stay on Twitch because most of my friends were on Twitch after all.
Yeah. That's actually a very interesting point because the so to say, the debate YouTube versus Twitch has really changed over the past 2 years. Indeed, back then, especially due to the Japanese streamers all being on YouTube mostly, especially Hololive cast, of course, YouTube was first kind of seen as the go-to platform. And however, as of now, I think all of my friends, like and everyone I know, switched over from YouTube to Twitch. And honestly, I don't think anyone actually ever regretted that. Actually, it was a blessing for everything that I know of, actually, be it small or big. And I found it very interesting. My personal take on that is I actually also started restreaming to 3 different platforms when I started out. I actually... yes, I actually did not want to become Twitch affiliate first because, of course, this kind of limits you to one of the platform. You cannot stream on Twitch on the same time as you do on YouTube if you are affiliate or partner. Well, maybe if you're big enough, you can work something out. But for most people, it's just you cannot do both at the same time. And I really just wanted to figure out what platform I want to use first and also be mostly inclusive, so I did actually restream to Twitch, YouTube, and Pikachu TV. I just wanted to try it out. But I felt, relatively quickly after a couple of months that I would feel more comfortable with streaming on Twitch and actually to decide to become an affiliate there. Simply because, the infrastructure is a lot better on Twitch as of now. Who knows if that will change in the future, and I also want to talk about that in a bit with you. However, the way I see it as of now, and I really have to think about something Renardon said in one of his talks about that. He mentioned that he kind of got the feeling of some people being kind of, that sounds a bit more harsh than it actually is meant, I guess, but that people who stream on Twitch sometimes take a bit of a pity over those who stream on YouTube. And it sounds kind of weird maybe, but I kind of can see where it's coming from for a specific reason. Streaming on Twitch as a VTuber feels like there's always a party going on. right? Like, there's always something happening, or your friends are always visible at the sidebar when they go online. There's always something happening. And on the contrary, YouTube feels kind of empty. Like, even if you like watch a big HoloLive streamer, and of course the chat is going rampage, of course, but it still kind of feels a bit empty and disconnected. Like you watch videos on YouTube in a rather linear fashion, but Twitch feels a lot more interactive, and streaming is, well, very, very interactive. So hence I honestly prefer right now the platform. However, I do hope that YouTube catches up a bit on it, so there's a bit of a competition between the platforms going on, which I think is important.
Yeah, I think competition between the platforms is very important. I do see that both of these big sort of players have a lot to offer. Like, I was considering on streaming on YouTube a little bit, because I know that's possible a little bit when you're a partner as well. They usually don't mind if you don't do it like on a daily basis, quote unquote. So I was thinking about testing a couple streams on YouTube, and I did that when Twitch was down. But in the end, I felt more at ease and more comfortable being on Twitch with my own community. And also, there's more. I feel like there's more viewer interaction.
Yeah.
In Twitch, you can have the channel points, but YouTube, I feel like there's vast amounts of people who don't know what a VTuber is, and they can stumble upon the stream.
Yeah.
But you can't really. I found that you can't really find many streams on YouTube if you don't know the person. So.
Indeed. Discoverability is definitely an issue on both platforms. However, Twitch has kind of managed to tackle that with the recommendations, for example. I think has become a big advantage. For example, finding a streamer on YouTube, if you don't already follow them, is super tough. Also, to be discovered there is super tough. For videos, it might be a bit better, but for streaming, yeah, difficult. Also, again, it doesn't feel like it to... I don't feel like engaged in watching a YouTube stream. I certainly do so for videos, but not so much for streaming. And Twitch feels very different there. And again, like all of my friends who went over from YouTube to Twitch saw tremendous growth, tremendous discoverability, and well, in the end, probably felt better this way. So I kind of hope. But I don't know if you saw that video from Foresight about like the huge YouTube controversy a couple of weeks ago, where even big streamers or VTubers got a bit shadow banned, and the viewer count was not shown correctly, and even like big streamers like Kaysen or even Foresight, for example, went on like, okay, we are gonna stream on Twitch from now on. I think YouTube reacted a little bit to that, but I found this point very interesting, and I do think, well, if you take like even HoloLive or so on, if they would stream on Twitch, I would think of that being probably, as of now, more successful in the long run. But however, this can change anytime, because YouTube is by far the bigger platform as a total, and Twitch is a bit niche, but it also feels more right, alright?
Yeah, I think the good thing about Twitch is that the person who comes to Twitch, the platform, they are specifically coming to watch streams.
Yeah.
But as for YouTube, there's like the videos and the streams, and you can stumble upon a stream and you don't know anything about it. It's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. But there's definitely, I feel like YouTube needs a little bit tweaking. Not saying that Twitch is perfect either, but it needs a little bit tweaking on the platform to discover the streamers. What if there was a YouTube but only for streaming, like Twitch, like a separate entity, kinda?
It would already help if it's like kind of on the sidebar. You can check like for videos or your abonnements or subscriptions, and for example, especially for streams, like on TV channels. I think that would be a huge step forward. Then again, they have been a bit slow on implementing new features because they kind of, well, yeah, each of them has kind of a bit of a monopoly in their regard. Twitch for streaming, YouTube for videos. So maybe they got a bit comfortable with that. But I hope they will develop more in the future, because in the end it will also benefit us as streamers and our viewers as well, for more interaction.
Chat is saying that they had a YouTube live and it sucked. And one more thing is saying YouTube does have a live section. Ooh, let me go. I want to see if I can find it easily.
It is very hard to find, actually. Well, it is there, but you have to scroll down, if I remember correctly. Also, I'm also looking for it right now.
Live. Okay, guys. I can see it now. Oh, and you can see some of the latest live streams as well.
Yeah, it's below, like gaming and live and movies and YouTube Premium. Like whoever goes there.
I can see mostly sporty streams. Sporty streams in the recommended tab. I didn't know.
So, maybe if they put it a bit more prominent, it might be easier to find. However, the culture is still very different on both platforms, and that's what I think is the main issue for now, and which YouTube could tackle, but it would also take quite a lot of time, I would think. And just buying up like big streamers and moving over to the platform doesn't really work. It didn't really work for Mixer after all, and or Facebook Gaming as of now.
There was was it Live D, I think, where PewDiePie moved over to stream there for I think it was Live D. Where PewDiePie moved to stream at first, but then the whole thing crashed. That was another one, like Mixer type of thing.
Wait. Well, wait on this Facebook Gaming, there's Picato, of course.
No, it was one that went under. Like it's not accessible anymore. I think it had a yellow logo. I don't remember much of it, but I think it was like Live D or something.
I see. So yeah, the debate is of course still going on, but again, I would say it changed a lot over the past 1 or 2 years. And right now it's in favor of Twitch. Maybe that will again change in the future, and those VTubers who are still mostly streaming on YouTube will say, well, we told you so a long time ago. Who knows? It's always developing, and this is, I think, one of the also a key factor for VTubing, or for VTubers. We have to be very diversified over different platforms. What platforms do you use except for Twitch?
I use YouTube, Twitter. I tried TikTok, but I am still on the fence about it. I'm stuck in the Finnish TikTok. It's not going very well so far. so mostly those three: YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Yep.
And Discord, but that's more of an app.
Yeah, indeed. I do agree. I do use the same ones. Tried out TikTok, but I haven't been feeling warm with that one so far. Although I kind of think it could be great, or it is great for VTubers actually. But yeah, probably more for if you have it on the local language, I guess. And
yeah, the problem with TikTok right now is that a personal lookout for me is that I am stuck in the Finnish For You page.
Yeah,
and that's TikTok's internal thing, and I can't get to any international market because I don't get enough traction from a small country like Finland. Although we do have a lot of VTubers, I mostly get like hateful comments from the Finnish community. Instead of so there's no way for me to get to the international For You page from the Finnish For You page. So it's kind of a pickle to bypass these regional sections, you know?
I'm gonna bonk everyone who tries to do a hate comment over Lumi. Honestly, what a Lumi! How dare you?
You know, it's one of those Finnish things, you know.
I actually considered doing at least a few German TikToks in the future. After all, because the same thing, you probably get featured to your local audience or language first. So doing content in English would be kind of counterproductive. After all, there are a lot of young people on the platform, I had a couple of fun ideas that I would like to try out, but again, it's also a lot of work to do another platform, and you know, if you do like stuff for YouTube, it's all in a different format than on TikTok. So you gotta cut it out, record it in different formats.
So, I think somebody was asking about TikTok, just to go circle around a bit there. Can you use a VPN to change it? No, you cannot use VPN. You still have your country's phone number, and you're still in the country, so that doesn't work. If you wanted to change the region, you would have to first of all get a SIM card from another country, and then use the VPN. So you gotta have the SIM card. You can get a virtual SIM card, which is from another country, but you have to be very careful not to use the phone without VPN. So that's a little bit of a hassle.
That sounds like a lot of work to just use an app. It's just similar to Instagram, which I kind of want to try out a bit more in the future. You know why? Because you can finally upload postings on your from your PC, which was not possible for the longest time, and you can now even include links in your stories even if you don't have like 10k followers yet, which was also a thing that you could only add links to your story if you had a large following already, and now that's kind of open for everyone, so that makes the platform a bit more interesting. But again, it's also a question of time, and probably focusing on few platforms is better, but thinking about discoverability, I guess it makes sense to diversify a little bit and go the extra mile and use different platforms if you want to grow on each one, I guess.
Yeah, but making content for different platforms sure is time consuming. Sure is time consuming from time to time.
Does it get exhausting for you from time to time as well? After all, you got to put in a lot of work to keep everything up and running.
Oh, well, I can't say for myself because I'm bad at uploading stuff on YouTube from time to time, because you know, I'm also not just streaming, but I also handle the convention, setting the table and handling the conventions for Mary, and I also make my own merch as well as streaming. So those are the three things that I do full time now. So rather than making YouTube content or TikToks, that is something that I have to think more in the future if I want to include those to my sort of daily routine, you know?
Indeed. So that's actually a good point. As a streamer, you have to do a lot by yourself, and also not, of course, the content creation, but also working everything around it, starting from your taxes and stuff like this, all the way over in your own merch or your your own Discord channel, for example. I don't know if you get any help from that from Mary and the team, for example, but for most streamers, that's also part of well, a task they should do, and I have to admit I'm a bit guilty of not being too active on that, because, well, it's in the end really a question of time. I would love to be more active there, but then again, there's also the day job, which I don't want to miss, and you gotta, well, choose on what you work on and where you are the most active, I guess.
Definitely, and there's I do feel like that with the VTubing, it has started with, well, you just stream, and it has sprouted to these different type of things like a Discord channel, YouTube, a TikTok, all sorts of different platforms have gathered around VTubing and has become sort of a staple to have these kind of things, like a Discord, for example, for the community purposes, not just talking on stream, you know?
Yeah, indeed. It's not just like pushing a button, stream start, and then everything is smooth sailing from up there. There's a lot of preparation around there, and you'll find yourself kind of working at like very late times, like I don't know, producing thumbnails or postings, do some collab talks, or just just general stuff to set everything up and running. Also to make stream plans, to have ideas on what you want to stream. There's a lot of work also going into that stuff, of course.
I wanted to ask, Fisky, do you do VTubing full-time? I know that you have another job, but would you consider yourself being a VTuber full-time? How many times do you usually stream around a week?
I usually stream around 4 times per week, but I do not consider myself as a full-time VTuber. First of all, because of course it's not my main profession. Also, I actually want to keep it as a hobby. This is kind of a very active decision for multiple factors. First of all, I kind of already got my dream job with organizing conventions and Dokumi and stuff like this. I actually wouldn't want to trade this for anything as of now. I really do enjoy that, and even if I could for some reason switch over to streaming full time, I would not want to do it because I kind of want to do both, definitely, and the focus will be always on organizing conventions, because I personally think this way I can actually create the most value with my time for people overall. But I do enjoy streaming as a hobby. Like, it's kind of my relief, just hanging around with the Catboy squad, with some people online, gaming together, finding also like-minded people who have the same interests like me, for example, who are into boyslove, who are into anime and manga general, in cute stuff, cute cosplay outfits, stuff like this. And also, actually, another important reason is I would not want to depend on the income of streaming, because it's very volatile. It can be
definitely
gone from one day or another. I mean, maybe you can also, as you are a full-time streamer, if you are of course comfortable with that, talk about that issue a bit, because first of all, of course, I do not earn enough money from it to sustain my private life, but I also would not want to do it, simply because I might feel forced to stream at times where I don't want to, and I just want to keep on enjoying it and just do it when I feel like it, kind of without having a financial pressure of some sort, I guess. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not too shy about talking about that. You know, being a VTuber for almost 2 years now, doing this sort of full time, has its ups and downs from time to time, depending. I can for sure say that income comes and goes in like waves. Yeah. Waves, and I've had the mindset, if I enjoy the streaming, if I enjoy the content that I'm making, and I can get by, that's okay. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm first and foremost, I wanna have fun when I'm streaming. I wanna have fun when I'm streaming, and I think that is a healthy mindset for any streamer. I've seen a lot of VTubers come and go, or get discouraged by the fact that streaming is not a stable income. Yes. For many people, I think it takes time and dedication for a streamer to get by. I wouldn't say it's easy, but you can definitely get by it, you know? Indeed. So, somebody's asking, isn't Twitch about to release stable income solution for streamers based on ads, by the way? I don't actually know, but certainly I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Yeah. So I guess that's also the difference between YouTube and Twitch. For example, if your main focus or one of your income streams would be from YouTube, this can be a bit more stable. At least if you have a very significant amount of viewers. And again, subscribers do not necessarily convert to actual views on a video automatically. So this is another thing. Also, YouTube income can vary very much. However, at least that is kind of passive income. You produce a video, which of course takes a lot of work. You upload it, and if it stays, for example, relevant because it's, I don't know, how to do video on how to set up a chair, and people in the future don't know how to set up chairs, then they will click on this video even in the future, and this can create income. Well,
for Twitch, it's very active income. It's you have to be online to generate it. Maybe there's a little bit of it which can be passive, but most of it is very active. And if you, for example, take a vacation for 2 or 4 weeks, then you'll probably see a big of a plunge, I guess, in this monthly income. Or do I look at it maybe in the wrong way? I don't know.
Definitely.
So, which can also, of course, be a bit more stressful in the long term, which is why I always consider streaming as running a marathon and not as a sprint. Even if you like blow up for some reason and become a very large streamer in a short time, you also have to sustain it, which is maybe also not that easy all the time. You have to be staying entertaining and relevant and interesting, and that for, well, many hours per stream, maybe many streams per week over a long time. So yeah, different platforms come with different challenges, I guess.
Definitely, and I can safely say that many people in the community feel the pressure on going live, but to VTubers who are thinking about starting, or people who are thinking about starting VTubing, I would just put a safety word, like, do not treat streaming as a job.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a full-time VTuber, I would rather treat this as a coffee hobby and having fun with it than taking myself very seriously. Taking myself very seriously. I am a wolf girl after all on the internet, you know. Although I do have before I started VTubing, my main job was to be a graphic designer and also handle conventions for Mary. So I started from there, and I did have a stable ground for a while on there, but I feel like I am very lucky to do this as a full-time, but I'm also very adamant about having other things than on streaming. Like I can do my own merch and all those little things. So it's not just the aspect of streaming, you know.
Indeed, and then this is a very, very healthy approach of that. Diversify your income streams a little bit, and of course, keep a healthy attitude at it, so to not get stressed over it or to get pressured by it too much. Also setting realistic expectations, of course, especially if you're starting out. I think that's a very important tip or advice, maybe also for other streamers or newer streamers. I mean, I would consider myself relatively new as well, so I should not be too bold on that. But yeah, just to look at it as a hobby first, and if it eventually grows into something that could be considered a job, good for you. That is awesome. That is perfect. But don't pressure yourself too much, especially at the beginning. Otherwise, you might burn out, and no one wants that. No one wants you to burn out. Everyone wants to, see you having fun. And if you're having fun, then your community will do so as well.
Yeah, actually, funny thing about VTubing and telling people about VTubing, I have a funny example. So my mother was visiting, and she had a bunch of her friends who are let's just say they are plus 50, 60 years old. They had no idea about VTubing, and I personally had to explain. I had to convey to them what is VTubing, what am I doing on the internet, and what aspects goes to it. And they were baffled to hear that people on Twitch platform will subscribe, basically give money to watch a person on internet. So I had to go in a big talk about like how these things work on our platform and in our streaming culture. So I had to go on a lengthy speech about starting from going to conventions and making plushies and gradually moving towards to what is it that I do on a daily basis is? What goes into it? It was very interesting. And these people were actually they're healthcare specialists. My mom's friends, they are working as a teacher for nurses or a doctor and that kind of people. So after my whole speech about this whole thing, it was very interesting. Actually, they wanted to ask me questions about it, and they said that I have very healthy mindset when it comes to streaming, and when it comes to treating streaming as a job, having it paired with these other things, which was very interesting. I was very surprised because they had questions, and the one lady genuinely looked me in the eye and was like, why people would give you money when they watch you on the internet, and I had to explain the whole situation about Twitch. It was very interesting.
Indeed. I mean, that is something I guess everyone struggles at first with when they discover the phenomena, I would say. And this is also something that has been coming up rather recent, that people not just buy things out of necessity, but because they actually want to support something or someone. It's kind of like for example, some people would like to support a good cause and will give money to charity, but also people buy things based on what they want to see to strive. For example, at a company that they prefer, maybe the product they produce is a bit more expensive, but it has been done through fair trade or something like this. So it's a conscious choice to actually shop for that good and not just out of necessity. And this is kind of turned into what I call sometimes free economy, or voluntary economy of people spending money on things that they don't need to, but they just appreciate and want to see continuing, which I think you always as a streamer have to never take for granted. Always be grateful for that, because it is definitely not something that's
someday the VTuber might be done. Talking about subbing and the culture, Finland, as some of you guys might know, in Finland we had this thing. In Finland, actually, we don't have this culture of giving something and not getting something physical in return. We don't have that kind of culture, and people are very iffy about that. It's quote unquote begging, called us begging for money, and we don't have that kind of a mindset of, hey, I enjoy this person's content, maybe I should sub or something like that. We don't have that thing, so that's why personally most of my viewers aren't Finnish. Tipping is not a thing in Europe in general.
Yeah, I do agree, and I do think the biggest differentiation is actually also that on how the streamer treats it. If someone is, of course, asking or even demanding, I've seen streamers doing that, but not in the VTuber community, but like in like big streamers kind of demanding for payments. That is, of course, a bit out of touch and weird, and I would also consider it as begging of some form, but not if you just stream, do your thing, produce stuff and content, and if someone voluntarily decides by themselves to support that, cool. But that's definitely not begging. That's something completely different. So I do also really, also maybe it's one of the reasons I would like to keep this as a hobby, because I do not want to ever fall in the first category, or seeing that to happen because I, for example, need to pay rent or whatever. So I do think having diversified income streams will benefit you as a streamer over the long run. So I do really appreciate your approach on that, and also, of course, that you are always being grateful for it, that you appreciate it, the support you get, and that's, I think, important, but also a healthy mindset.
Yeah. You gotta have a realistic mindset about these things. But I am to this day baffled that, because it's my Finnish mindset speaking about these things, baffled that somebody gives subs, even though I give myself subs to the streamers that I enjoy. I do that, but it always in my little wolf brain, it baffles me the idea that somebody is subbing, but that's it's just our culture that we're kind of in.
And you see it changing like all over the place, like stuff like Patreon, which was faced with the same issues or controversies in the beginning, but now it's kind of normal. Well, you want to support an artist that whose work you like, yeah, you just subscribe to them on Patreon or whatever platform. That is okay to do so. Again, as long as they are not demanding it for some reason, and it's after all, they create something of value to you, and if you want to see them creating that or continuing to do so, well, yeah, something has to pay the bills, and it's whatever you do create, it takes a lot of time. You can of course do it as a hobby, but if you expect, for example, of an artist to put out an artwork every week or every couple of days, how are they supposed to do it if they work in a hospital or a cafeteria or whatever at the same time? It of course limits the time in which they can create some kind of content, whatever that might be. And this has been shifting, but you of course have to always consider that this also might change in the future. It is normal now, maybe change in the future, so it'd always be better to, well, have diversified content. And I would actually love to see, especially on Twitch, that there would be some kind of reliable income coming outside of donations. For example, on YouTube, it's mostly revenue based on ads, for example, which is well, a lot healthier, I guess, in the long run. If Twitch managed to actually offer this kind of, or such a kind of income stream as well, this would be a huge help for many creators and streamers out there, and would make the platform so much more well, how do you say it? Not secure or safe, but valuable also for the streamers. It's good as it is of now, but if they could implement some additional changes for that, I would definitely appreciate and love to see that. Yeah, because we are all less dependent on each other then, which would be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, if we look at the eyes of an indie VTuber, there's a lot of ways to do revenue, like sponsorships or merch. Yeah. But like I have a very first-hand look on making merch myself, like wanting to make some kind of like we make most of the things ourselves or commission them locally ourselves. So these things make time, so I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a smaller streamer who perchance wanted to make a merch. Yeah. So these things take so much time. Although no hate to like a big corporation like a Hololive making a batch of merch. That's basically more easier. But if a smaller indie VTuber wants to make some kind of revenue from the merch, it's definitely a
bigger risk.
A time consuming. It's basically another job. Yeah. For example, making plushies ourselves in Finland, that takes like making the plushies themselves takes from like 3 months to 6 months.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and of course, it's a big risk for the streamer themselves too. After all, you have to finance the production first and everything, and if it sells or not, you just know after you put it on sale, I guess. So. Then again, looking back at the idea of streaming as a marathon, I like the process of learning and growing also as a person during the process. I found this very refreshing when starting out with VTubing, that you learn so much. For example, we just working back with Photoshop again, which I haven't touched for such a long time before that, and now I really enjoy doing thumbnails and stuff like this. Unfortunately I do suck at video cutting, so I definitely need help from that from the community. Thank you for that. But when it comes to you can definitely grow in your skill set, and I think you will also have to do that because in the end you have to establish several sets of skills to be successful and sustain a level of success in the long run, especially if you want to do it as a full-time job or even as a part-time job, which is many VTubers do, as far as I know.
Yeah. Before VTubing, I was already an entrepreneur. So personally, I didn't have a. I already had my like. I had the mindset of like making things myself, make it break it type of an ideology. So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, self-employed, quote unquote. So that wasn't necessarily a hard part for me to start up and make things for myself and kind of have this mindset of just do it yourself.
Honestly, that's one thing I like the most about it, that many people actually start to become small entrepreneurs themselves, or even larger at that point, of course. I love to see that, for example, at artist alleys at conventions, where people started to turn their hobby into an additional income. I'm a huge fan of several income streams. Most people usually have only one from their main job, but I think that's very unhealthy in the long run. After all, what happens if you lose that job for some reason? It's always better to have at least a little bit of a backup plan, or at least a backup income, even though, of course, these take a lot of work. But I love to see how many people did that at conventions pre the pandemic. And now I think streamers just do the same at some point, even if they, well, no matter if they intend on actually creating it as an income or not, but at least they deal with the struggles and the mindset, which I personally think is a very healthy one, because you take a lot of responsibility for yourself and your own situation, and this will make you grow as a person no matter how the journey ends, but it will definitely make you grow as a person.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those, don't put your eggs in a one basket, okay? Don't do it, don't put your eggs in a one goddamn basket. What if it falls over and the eggs all over the place?
Oh no!
The yolk,
the poor eggies.
So you gotta, definitely, I feel like many VTubers do have plenty of opportunities outside of this streaming circle.
And this is something I think will definitely continue to grow and get more established, especially this year. So, from a German or English speaking person's perspective, VTubing was very indie things still in 2020, like in its children's shoes, so to say, and became kind of a thing, or like a large thing on a large scale last year. And from now on, it's gonna be like evolving in many more directions, from the basis of being established as a culture, as a as a phenomena, I guess, as a category. And I think it's a very exciting moment to witness. I kind of enjoyed witnessing what happened over the past year already. For example, the German community just started out last year in the beginning. And now has also kind of established themselves, and certainly the English speaking community. But there's a lot of, this is just the beginning still. There's a lot to come over the next years, and I'm very, very excited to see how it unfolds. What are your expectations for, let's say, the next year or the next few years?
Well, going back like a year ago, I already know that I would break the barrier between VTubing and going to conventions. That was always something that I intend to do. So I think it's very healthy to sort of break these barriers, because we're the ones who make the rules for ourselves, and I think, although it has been great in the VTuber scene to see people come together and collab and do stuff, I look forward to some people who want to, outside of VTubing, come out of their shells and maybe start going to conventions. Like for myself, of course I don't expect something from any VTuber that's out there. Like with the do you remember the face reveal campaign that was going around? I think that's something that it's not necessarily for everyone, okay? Because we prefer on streaming platform to be our virtual selves. That's pretty much obvious. But that doesn't take out the fact that if some of us wants to go to convention, that's something that we're allowed to do. It's a tricky situation because these rules are sort of set by Hololive, and this is not from the talents themselves. This is from the company side, the Japanese management side from it. So for your questions about future, I hopefully we'll see some things that will evolve the community even more. Not just conventions, but maybe something virtual.
I do agree in that, and I also see that it's actually one of the most exciting things, especially for the next year, for two reasons. First of all, seeing conventions coming back, we might actually see the VTubing sphere getting actually integrated even more so in the physical sphere on a very interesting part. We already saw that happening at Dokumi last year. I mean, you had, for example, your booth with Mary over there, and it was super popular. You posted the cosplay pictures which were super gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
We also saw, for example, I also met a lot of VTubers from my circle of friends in person, and I felt even so much more connected to them after that. We hung out on Discord many months over the past year. Then I saw them finally in person at the event, and there was no break of immersion for me. I felt actually even more connected to my friends over there, and I do think for most VTubers it's actually beneficial, especially if they at least look a little bit like their avatar in real life. Then it's going to be a very beneficial part to also, reveal their human self to be more relatable in many regards. And you can cosplay yourself, of course. And
what are you saying, cosplay? I look like this 24/7. Come on now.
You actually do. You actually do. That's so cool to see.
You know, it's really hard to go outside with my tail flopping around left and right, you know. But you know, talking about like the culture face reveals, I hope that nobody felt pressure to do so, because I do know that VTubing to many people is a way to sort of like escape from reality, and that's something that I although I do some stuff for myself, it's not something that I expect from anyone else. If they we're gonna have a respect for different types of VTubing, you know.
Absolutely, no one should be forced to do that. After all, we have many people in the community who are feeling a bit anxious and kind of can actually use VTubing to feel confident enough to actually talk in front of an audience, for example. So that is absolutely awesome, and no one would want to ruin that for anyone. But again, I do think there's also, at least to those who are ready for it, good opportunities to actually merge, for example, the convention sphere with VTubing in many regards. And I do think we will see that in any case next year, or this year in particular. And it will probably become a thing, just like cosplay culture became a single convention and came there to stay, or many other cultural things. So that's gonna be interesting, and it wasn't really that much possible over the past 2 years. But again, I think that's gonna be one of the biggest influences over the 2022, so to say.
But you know, there's also the fact that somebody said in the chat that some people are not safe to reveal their faces to the community or to public because of where they live. Because some countries, for example, I'm very safe in Finland. Like, our culture is built so that nobody really cares, or they shouldn't care. So for one, I'm very confident and safe to go outside, for example. You know, that's something that I don't have to be scared of myself. So I'm privileged in that sense, that I can do these things my way.
Indeed. That's definitely not possible in all of the countries. Luckily, I guess in most European countries that's the case. However, and this is maybe also a bit of a advice to other streamers and VTubers out there, the risk that comes with not just revealing yourself, but also having your address, for example, and especially if you are a company, for example, at any point on your website, on your social media, whatever. For example, in Germany, it's a law that you have to put an address when you're having a website or anything like that. Technically, even for social media, but yeah, it's a bit difficult on that. Always try to use a different address, and because doxing is already a big problem on Twitch, and it's probably gonna get worse in many regards because there's envy connected to it and lots of bad character traits.
Yeah, it's an interesting and a little scary situation, the whole doxing thing. And also in Finland, we have if you have a company owner, your information is out there. That's thing. I don't know if you guys have it in your countries. So if you're a company owner, you have your some of the stuff is public, like information from companies is public.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing. And going into the whole thing of doxing, and I think everybody has heard the things about America, like people calling about a gun shooting or something, and the people are coming in.
Swatting. Yeah.
Police is coming in, and they have to be very cautious about that. I don't think in Finland we have that kind of thing. I don't think you can get swatted or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had my own hassles of people trying to invade into the private life. For reasons or some reasons, you know.
That is actually a very good point. Setting some kind of boundaries is, I think, also a very important part of VTubing, of streaming, because you, of course, are very transparent, very open to your community. You want to be engaging. After all, your community kind of become your friends in a way. Especially for small communities, but also I think this goes for every streamer, because you embrace your community to the fullest and also want to show yourself from the best side, of course. So but it is also important to set some kind of boundaries in between, so people don't forget, okay, hey, there's first of all another human on the other side of the screen, of course, but I think most people know and appreciate that. But also to not set expectations that, we as streamers might not be able to always fulfill, like becoming one's partner or one's very close friend. I actually do like to listen to people from my community and to my friends, and also help them out with their problems if I can, if I have the time to, which might not always be the case. Maybe it takes some time to reply. Discord's usually kind of full with many messages, and so it takes some time to answer them all. So maybe setting some kind of boundaries is sometimes necessary. So at least people don't get hurt from maybe setting wrong expectations or something like this, I guess.
I think boundaries are definitely important when it comes to VTubing, and the signs of oversharing has been seen, like people leaking DMs or something in the world of Twitters. So I think us as a community as well, when dealing with issues like drama or misunderstanding or stuff like that, it's important to remember that we are all people past our internet avatars. So I think sometimes it's good to touch grass about these things, but also set healthy boundaries not only between you and your audience, but also between you and your VTuber self.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot goes in between those two things, you know.
I have to admit that I kind of struggled with that a little bit in the end. First of all, I want to kind of keep myself as Fisky, disconnected from my real life person, so to say, and also from what I do at Dokumi. I kind of gave that up over time. First of all, because it's just too much passion in both projects as well. That goes for Dokumi and VTubing as well. So kind of trying to avoid the topic or trying to sneak around it felt very uninteresting or like very weird in the long run. So I kind of threw that also out of the window. Also, of course, I want to meet people from the community at the convention. So there was another factor where I said, okay, if people know how I look like in real life, should be okay, because they will find out eventually, and I also don't mind. But still I have to consider on what boundaries I might want to set in the future, or I will have to set in the future. As of now, I'm very, very engaging and very open, but maybe there comes a time where I need to separate it again a little bit. As of now, I cannot fully embrace it on the person behind the screen, as well as the person you can see right over here on the internet land.
That's definitely like a Pandora's box. Well, I wouldn't say can of worms, like the person's relationship to their VTuber selves. That's a whole thing. But I've seen a lot of like conversation between people, how live girls are maybe put into these shells. But I do feel like that even though if you're playing it up or just enjoying yourself as you are, those all are also like come together into a one sort of thing, you know? You know?
Exactly. By the way, we should also both hydrate to stay healthy in between. After all, we're talking a lot.
You're buddy.
And stretch it a little. Do you have any favorite moments when it comes to streaming and the past year?
Oh my goodness! When I learned how to full body track, my goodness gracious, I felt so alive. I felt so alive to move my own body. It worked. I could move my arm. I could move my leg. I could do anything.
I wanna do that too.
That was definitely a big part for me. And another big part for me was my anniversary, when my whole community came together and write bunch of stuff for me, and I spent 2 hours of crying and reading those heartfelt words out, and do you have a favorite moment, Fisky?
Good question. I would say, that's very difficult. Because there are actually quite many. Some of the most special ones were probably the Digikomi moments, like, because I was very nervous. Definitely 2 Digikomis and special streams like the charity stream we had in December over here, because I was so nervous if everything goes well, and if people would even join or whatever. And in the end, it always worked out. People had a lot of fun, and we were able to create lots of awesome memories for everyone involved. So I was always very, very relieved for those very special events. That's what I guess. That's a few of my favorite moments.
There's a lot of great. I feel like a week in VTubing is like a month. Only a week VTubing is like a month in VTuber world. There's so many things happening every day. But definitely I've had some so great times, and I feel like every stream is an opportunity for comfy. Somebody was asking a side question. Out of curiosity, how would you go about VTubing on a budget? Well, you can do VTubing free if you have a computer and microphone and a web camera. All the virtual stuff can be free. There are so many assets. If you just Google VTuber assets, you can find plenty, like Vroid, for example. That's free. You just, it's called Fozino site. You can find the graphics. There's a lot of VTuber assets free on Twitter. So basically, you don't need nothing, okay?
I actually would even recommend everyone who's considers starting out as a VTuber to start with a PNG. Okay, I'm just personally a huge fan of the 2D aesthetics, and if you already have a pretty PNG and a nice voice on it, this can be absolutely huge and absolutely super fun to watch already. So and that, well, maybe takes a little bit of a budget, but not too much. Not too much. And then you can see if you enjoy streaming at all, or content creation, or making videos. But because in the end, this is what VTubing is a lot about, I would say. That you create some kind of content, doesn't have to be streaming, but some kind. And well, I'm kind of a bit sad when people kind of spend a lot of money on a big live 2D rigged model, and then they don't enjoy the process of content creation that much. And maybe if you just do a PNG first, you can test the waters out with a very small budget, and yeah, either continue or we'll say, okay, maybe do something else.
Definitely, I would also recommend testing out with the PNG. Is streaming something for you? Because I know some people that don't enjoy streaming at all. They have tried it. It's not for them. So definitely test it out. I know it's very trendy right now. I know it's very trendy. Streaming is very trendy. But some people enjoy, some people it's not for them. Please don't let commission many hundreds of dollars or euros or whatever money you're using to get a model, and then don't get your quote-unquote money's worth. It can be a passion project, of course. You don't have to get your money's worth, but be mindful.
And one more thing I would like to emphasize a little bit on is definitely set realistic expectations. And if you set goals for yourself as a VTuber, always make them, quote unquote smart. You know this SMRT, which are measurable and reachable, and where you also have the control over. For example, if you want to have the goal of having 50 or 100 or 1000 viewers averaging, that's not something you can really there's kind of lots of external factors involved if you can reach those kind of goals. But you can, of course, for example, make a goal to create 1 video per week, or 3 live streams per week, or so many artworks or tweets per week or per month. Those are things you can definitely focus on and reach, and you probably see some kind of results from that. But also always be aware that, for example, I tapped into this kind of trap myself. I have to admit that I was kind of blinded a little bit by the numbers that people are reaching in my circle of friends, or for example in that you can, for example, get recommended, or that you from the people you followed. Keep in mind that from all the channels on Twitch, for example, that have been streaming over the past 365 days, 99% or so, or maybe even a bit more, average between, or didn't have more than 5 or 10 viewers, or usually even less than 5 viewers, which kind of gives you another perspective on what's actually normal if you start out streaming, what kind of community will have in the beginning, and you can always get, for example, lucky or hardworking and grow from it, but always keep it in mind to have realistic goals when it comes to building up a community and expectations. Otherwise you might get maybe disappointed, and no one wants to see you get disappointed after all. We want you to enjoy it.
I personally try not to care about numbers, because that hinges on my creativity. And I think that's something that I know that some people care more about numbers.
Yes.
But personally, my personal relationship with the numbers, I've tried to distance myself. You know, we shouldn't treat our community as numbers. So I want to keep it comfy personally. And although growth is nice, I consider myself definitely lucky in a sense when I started. When it wasn't as popular so I could establish my community, quote unquote. I am lucky in that sense, but I would never want to take it for granted. But
Indeed.
as for getting out there as a VTuber, there's many ways to get your like yourself out there, like Twitter or collabs or comfy streams. But just keep in mind to have a healthy mindset about these things, you know?
Indeed, because I do think there's a lot of obsession about those kind of numbers, and it kind of, well, hurts in many ways. People are burnt out or disappointed if they, compare themselves to others, or if they don't see the quote-unquote success that they want to plan for, achieve, or certain goals that they cannot really determine by themselves if they are being reached or not. However, what I do recommend there is just to enjoy actually the content creation or the process of finding friends. Again, very important. Never see your community as numbers. That is kind of devaluate them a little bit. And of course, there are always humans behind in chat or who are viewing right now, who are checking out your YouTube videos or your streams. Those are real humans, and just consider it to be like a classroom full of people, and you are hanging out together, you're vibing together, and enjoying some games together, whatever, or just a comfy talk like now, and maybe having this as a goal, completely unconnected to some sort of arbitrary numbers, maybe makes you enjoy the whole fun so much more, because I see a lot of growth in quantity when it comes to VTubers who are joining the pack, and I love that. I absolutely love that. I was just, for example, in a German VTuber get together or get to know each other Discord a couple of weeks ago. There was like a small event there where people just got to know each other. Lumi, there were like 50 people in this Discord alone at the same time in voice chat. 50.
That's cool.
I didn't know any single one of them in advance, and you might remember I kind of knew quite a few VTubers already, and I was amazed. I was really amazed on how many more are joining our ranks, so to say, and looking at it, that there are lots of more people who are hanging out with each other, playing games and having fun together. I think this could be a very healthy approach on, enjoying this as a community, I guess.
I remember about the community thing. So I started the VTuber Discord group where there's only Finnish VTubers when there was just a handful of us. And right now, hold on, let me go check how many are there? So there's 57 online and 29 offline, so about 80 VTubers from Finland. So I just wanted to gather up all Finnish tubers, because I know that Finnish people tend to be a little bit, antisocial and things, so I just wanted to grab everybody and put them in one place and see, hey, here's your community! Talk.
Absolutely. You also created this VTuber Discord, which I loved so much. Oh my god, I remember joining it when you created it, and it was so wild and so much fun. Also so lovely to finally actually see more European VTubers, because you always think that the internet is kind of US based, so to say, when it comes to most of the parts of the internet. But actually to see that there are so many from, our neighboring countries, or even from our own countries, or at least time zones, was so relieving, and also I enjoyed it very much. So I can thank you so much for creating this Discord server as well.
Of course, I don't have much time to chat with a bunch of people, but I know that for small creators, it has been a big help to have some kind of support group. Definitely. It's a hard world out there if you don't have some people to, just throw some memes at,
Indeed. If you could describe the, let's say, okay, EN VTuber bubble community as of now, how would you describe it for now?
Oh, very versatile and fast moving, so fast.
Oh yeah.
So fast, but also very helpful and very lovely.
Very welcoming, I would say. It's indeed, well, maybe early enough that it's a very open-minded and very welcoming community. Indeed, it changes so fast. People come and go, of course, which is, I guess, natural when to streaming in overall. But I find it very easy to find friends in this community. Very similar to the otaku community, which I know from my convention days. It was so easy to find friends because you have the mutual interest and you have an actual community feeling, which I didn't see so much in a streaming community before VTubing.
Yeah, VTubing definitely brought us, dare I say, weebs together. Kind of similar to, back in my day, when I first went to conventions. I'm from a very small place. I didn't have any friends who enjoyed anime or manga, so I feel like this is a similar type of phenomenon. When I went to the convention for the first time and I met people who are like-minded, I felt welcome. So I think this is just a same situation, but in a different package, in a different format. Kinda,
Totally. I would phrase it just the same way, because it has the same feeling about it, and that's what kind of brought me, I would say, a bit through the pandemic, especially in last winter, where I was still a bit kind of depressed and things were very, very difficult. But actually finding this community and to find a new circle of friends, for example, which I can even hang around with digitally, so to say, which had the same convention and vibe, so to say, which I enjoyed so much over the past years, and kind of missed during the past 2 years a little bit. That was so relieving, and I'm very honestly until this day. This is the thing I'm mostly grateful about, just being able to find new friends, and who brought me kind of through the whole pandemic mess and the loneliness, so to say.
I do feel, I don't want to speak for other people, but I do feel like many people have found like something to do during these difficult times in the world, which is it's very cool how us people evolve and find ways to express ourselves during these times that we're confined in 1-2 rooms here and there and can't really socialize in a way that we used to. So for that I am grateful that VTubers came to be, and we sort of are in this culture. We built this culture on a travesty. So in a sense, I am happy for VTubing, although that doesn't take away that these 2 years has been very rough for everybody.
Yeah. So also a huge thanks to all viewers right now, or everyone who's in chat right now, because you've been part of this. You've been part of this journey and part of this, circle of friends, which is really amazing. Also, I actually didn't used to, watch streams before that. So, I've been streaming, of course, since 2017 over Dokumi TV before, and I really enjoyed streaming very much. But I didn't really bother that much watching other streamers. It wasn't really engaging for me. However, that changed so much after VTubing, because I felt such a tighter connection to the people who were streaming on the other end. Those mostly are my friends, and or at least people that I feel I have something in common with. And now I actually do enjoy watching other streamers and other VTubers, for that matter, while of course enjoying streaming myself. But yeah, it's now I enjoy both, which didn't happen before.
I personally had some experience in streaming for like a year and a half before that. So I sort of moved to a new platform from the previous one. So I knew that I had a thing for streaming, and it was something that I did. But I definitely have started to watch more content creators. Not only VTubers, but also plain old streamers.
Plain old streamers with their webcam, and I have to admit that it kind of feels nowadays a bit weird for me actually to watch someone with a normal webcam, even though I've done that myself many years already, and still occasionally do that on Dokumi TV. However, I honestly mostly watch VTubers, and I still have to convert my mind a little bit back and forth when I actually watch another normal streamer out there, which is kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm so big brain that I can separate those two, but it does feel a little bit weird to watch a flesh streamer. Flesh streamer.
Oh my god, I love that. Flesh streamer.
Maybe we should start calling them flesh streamers. Yeah. Flesh tubers.
Of course, we don't find that in a negative way, but I kind of like I kind of like this approach because we have 2D and 3D streamers in VTubing, so that doesn't really make sense to differentiate it much. But flesh streamers, I like that.
Flesh streamer, yeah.
And lots of love goes out to other flesh streamers.
Yeah, you can be a flesh streamer or a VTuber. Oh, skin tuber. I also like skin tuber.
Skin tuber. Oh my god, this sounds kind of gory, but also in a good way.
Yeah, just we should pop in a flesh tuber stream and say, nice RTX model. How much it cost?
Hello, dear skin tubers. I gotta tweet that.
Tubers. We welcome you.
Skin tuber. Oi. I have to kind of.
Rigor.
I have to think about Skyrim now at the older days. Oi. But then again, I do think there's like a lot of advantages too from VTubing over regular streaming. For example, if you're very tired and you kind of had a messy day and you start to stream and you're a bit on low energy, at least you don't look very weird if you do so. Like, you have the same pretty look on your face as a VTuber, even if you maybe did not do your hair. Of course, I always do my hair when I start streaming, of course, and I always wear pants. Oh. There's a bit of a more freedom when it comes to VTubing, and at least you never kind of do a weird face when you're concentrating, for example, on a very tough part in the game.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a new face tracking, and it will read my face differently. You know, it's called ear kit tracking. Which is iPhone face recognition technology. I'm really excited for it, but I'm also scared because I'm used to different, so I don't know what my face does. I don't know what my new face does. It's a little scary. In it.
You're gonna be brave and embrace the new changes and advancements in technical development, because it's always exciting to see something new happening, and to actually get more immersive if you can actually express yourself a bit more with your face in your model.
Yeah, but going back to flesh tubers real quick, for VTubers, personally I'm a that kind of wolf girl. I enjoy the anime aesthetic very immensely.
Yes.
Very immensely. So I know that some people, like people that are not used to VTubers, might be curious on how person looks behind the avatar.
Yeah.
But personally, I enjoy the aesthetic. I enjoy the show. That is something that I enjoy very much.
Likewise. Which is also one thing I love that now I always had the feeling that there are a lot of otakus and weeps on Twitch, because you saw the profile pictures and everything. But then again, anime fans were not that visible on the platform, even though I was always sure that they are there, and now we are visible. Very, very much so.
Anime, become anime. What do you do for a job? I'm an anime girl.
Finally, we can become the anime ourselves, and this is honestly actually one of the most fun things about it. You can not just I loved cosplaying already because I enjoyed anime characters, and at least I could save the weird clothes and cute outfits and become cute as well. This way as well, and now I can just become the anime character, which is one step more after cosplaying.
Yeah, and you're free to express yourself how you want to. So VTubing, I think it's a great tool for many to express their true feelings, you know. Kinda, you know.
Are there any downsides in your opinion about using the avatar, or is it all just, well, advantages?
I would say that there's definitely some downsides, you know. If we go to the ones that we talked about, doxing and people being a bit snoopy on people's personal lives, because I think we all are. We all have our own privacy, and we are allowed to have our own privacy. If we do want to share something online, that's okay. But we do all have our own privacy, and everybody should respect that online. So that definitely is something that comes with the having a multiple bodies, sorta multiple forms. So I feel like I've definitely felt at times I was very scared when I first I went to a convention, Dokumi for the first time, and that definitely was a big deal for me, and I was scared about how my community would take it, because I do know that some communities prefer to have only the anime aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I do feel that some people might have the fact that they don't necessarily look like they're a VTuber avatar, so there might be a disconnect between the person and the avatar. So that might be a downside to some person who feels attached to their VTuber self, but in their personal life they feel bad about not looking like their avatar, you know. There might be some downsides into having a external self, you know.
Yeah. Indeed, exactly that. So so far I think people mostly took this quite well. For example, there's a lot of debates that we kind of take on from the Japanese sphere, like especially the agencies like Hololive and so on. For example, there's also this debate from Japanese idol culture where, for example, Hololive and Holostars hardly or never actually engage together because, oh no, what if a girl VTuber seen together with a boy VTuber? They might already be dating. No, like it's a bit funny and weird from a well, maybe Western standpoint, and it's not seen as grave over here than it's, for example, in Japanese idol culture. So I do also think this is kind of shifting away from that, like when people are still first worried. There was, for example, a video of Kiara from More Life English talking about, well, she was a bit worried that her fans might be disappointed if she collaborated with a male VTuber for whatever. I don't know what the reason was, but she was a bit worried about it. And even though, for example, we already had been seen on screen together and doing Digikomi in 2020.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It's a male VTuber! Oh no! Shut off the stream!
Yeah.
I think it all sprouts from Japanese idol culture, which can be toxic, and it's a whole different topic. The Japanese idol culture, I think it's problematic, and it's very tied to the culture in Japan. So I do understand where it's coming from, but again, that is not they don't make the rules for all of the VTubers. So
correct,
I think
correct.
there's definitely a shift in cultures, cultural differences.
Indeed, and I do think that in for example, the Western world, those kind of issues are not as well prevailing, or not even as the case. So it's not much of a discussion. So that should be fine. And actually, as we're gradually making our own rules, that is probably for the better, and will maybe even benefit the Japanese communities as well, because they will see, okay, it's not many small topics that they might see as a hot topic is actually not a real one in the rest of the internet. So it's maybe not also that much of a topic for them as well. So that's good. We can all learn from each other and grow, and hopefully be more free at expressing ourselves.
We're all just here to have a good time. Good time. We may not be here for a long time, but we're here for a good ride. So I think all viewers and streamers, we're just here to enjoy ourselves, and we choose to spend our free time here. So I think we just all wanna belong and have a jolly time.
I agree. So what do you think is coming next? Or like, next year we already talked about the convention part, but also what do you expect how the VTuber community develops over, let's say, the next 5 years, based on what has been going on over the past 1 to 2 years already?
Personally, I don't think VTubing is a fast phenomenon like fidget spinners. I don't think it's just gonna disappear in one day.
Yeah.
I think VTubing is a thing that has come to stay, and that's pretty cool. But for development, I haven't really given much thought about this. What do you think, Fisky? Do you have any conspiracy theories?
Okay, put on your tinfoil hat. It's gonna get wild now. No, just kidding. As things have been more established, I do think there will be more, for example, also more opportunities for streamers. Did something crash? No, I didn't. Okay. So we will see a higher grade of professionalism, I guess, in the future. Just consider how, for example, YouTube started out with cat videos and weird homemade videos, and now it's basically more and more high-value production. I think this will also be something that will develop over on the VTuber sphere. In many regards, still there's a lot of testing out the waters and see what kind of concepts are interesting and what works and what will work. We'll see more niches coming up, I think. Much more than just, for example, gaming, just chatting, or whatever. There will be new trends coming up, or old trends leaving, just as games come and go, for example. And again, I think there's gonna be a huge influx between different platforms. Maybe it will just not keep keep streaming. Maybe we will have more VTubers active on Instagram, for example, instead of Twitter. That people might make short videos on they already do that on TikTok, but maybe also on other platforms as well. Right now it's very focused on either streaming or video creation, and I would say it's even more focused on streaming as of now. That might change. The content creation part might change.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot of apps that are still in development, but to have, for example, my 3D self on my phone, which I could film. So there's technology is also developing. Like, full body tracking can be very expensive. Depending on where you get it. For example, having a VR headset costs computer that's powerful enough. So I think technology will definitely develop, and I think VTubers will get more free opportunities and assets to use for their streaming, for example. For example, hand tracking technology. I'm using a Leap Motion, so I think in the future maybe a powerful enough web camera could catch the hands moving. You don't necessarily need to have a separate device for tracking, you know? I think that will definitely be something that's gonna get more and more cooler, you know? We're still at the starting point.
Indeed. And this will maybe bring even more immersion, even more possibilities, maybe for example for whole dancing concerts. I mean, they already do that at Total Life, but maybe this way it's also more available for indie streamers as well. I think the technological advancement here is there a very exciting point of the whole things, which I cannot really expect in which direction it will go, but it will probably surprise us more often in the future that something is suddenly possible that we didn't even think about, and then new content is created. Like for example, you have more opportunities to join VR chat as a VTuber and actually engage and meet up, for example, in virtual worlds. Hopefully not the metaverse though. It's kind of creepy.
We shall see. That's very interesting.
And I do think that the separation between, for example, agency VTubers and indie VTubers is getting more and more blurry. And that's actually a good thing. There will be maybe very agency-styled VTubers on one end and very indie community VTubers on the other end, for example. But in between, there will be no, or really less of a separation, and it will become rather blurry, I guess. And there might be, for example, indie VTubers who are more professional than a agency VTuber, and the other way around, I guess.
That's true. I do hope that the agency VTubers get more freedom to collab with the people that they want to, but I do understand the corporation aspect in it. But definitely, I look forward to having more freedom for corporation VTubers to collab with people who they want to.
Indeed.
Maybe we shall see. Who knows?
I have one actually ultimate goal which I would love to see possible in the future, and especially some kind of content I would love to do as a VTuber, and that would be travel streams as a VTuber, like exploring some new place somewhere. Like for example the Finnish woods, or like the Sahara, or Japan, or I don't know, the jungle somewhere, and to be able to take the community on this trip with you, either in video form or even better if it's live, while you're being portrayed as your, for example, VTuber avatar on screen, but the background will be whatever you film with your camera or phone or whatever, so you can actually take your friends and your VTuber community on a trip to somewhere. That would be so epic and awesome, but I don't think we are quite there yet.
I've been looking into it because I really want to go outside in the Finnish nature, because I think I could do it safely without getting stream sniped, you know? I could do that in Finland, but I've been looking into those streaming backpacks. But the 3D, if I wanted to have myself as 3D, that would require an extra camera to track my face. And then an extra thingy to have it on the screen. If I wanted to do it like a simple way, it would probably be to have a GoPro, which is then connected to my phone, and I can read the chat from the phone and see the stream from the phone. That would be super cool.
That would be super awesome.
GoPro so expensive, so I'm looking into that.
That would be so awesome. Imagine you could just touch grass while streaming.
Touch grass while streaming. Touch the grass with me.
Also, I think this kind of content would be just really, really cool, because I love exploring, I love traveling, and well, I've never really taken anyone except my closest friends on those journeys, but those are always so precious moments that you experience, and sharing those would be like top tier content, at least for me.
That would be super cool. I think well, personally I won't be doing in real life stream like in America, but I think I will take some videos and show them off for chat later. Obviously, that's not as great as going on a trip with the chat. I would like to go on a forest snack trip with the chat in the future. You know, have the snacks, walk, and you know, do that in on stream in the moment rather than in a video afterwards.
So we still have a lot of very exciting stuff ahead of us, hopefully, but I'm very, very confident that that's definitely the case. My gosh. So in the end, the past 1 or 2 years have been extremely well, volatile, but in a good sense, like very fast-paced. Lots of stuff has happened, but in the end, VTubers have established themselves and, well, came here to stay.
Yeah, we're here to stay, like it or not. like it or not, we're here to stay.
Take that, haters! Oh, luckily there are hardly any haters out there. At least as far as I know, which is good. I want things to stay cozy. Also, one more thing I do expect that well, we were talking about numbers in the beginning, but I think even there we are still at the beginning when it comes to Twitch, but also when it comes to VTubing as a potential. I can imagine that this is gonna be a very legit form of content creation that could, well, it's maybe not gonna be mainstream, but it's gonna be a very big niche, so to say, because we know that there are so many anime manga fans out there who just love the aesthetics, and well, that's what we deliver on. We are delivering anime vibes into your phone.
Yeah. Or PC. But definitely, I think more and more corporations, like companies, will come into play when it comes to VTubing. You know, there's obviously like Hololive and Nijisanji, but definitely I feel like not only VTubing companies, but only normal companies I think might come into play in a sense of having VTubers as mascots, or something else, you know.
One thing I really want to do is to kind of work together with anime manga companies or publishers to just, well, I don't know, show my favorite mangas, or to kind of collaborate with them on something. I don't know even what yet, but again, okay, maybe from the dokumi background, I've got many friends in the industry, and I honestly would love to connect those two worlds. I think that's a very cool potential that would be there. Not necessarily like from monetization or this kind of stuff, but just from a collaboration standpoint, where two areas, anime manga creation, just comes together with VTubing. Also, VTuber comics. This is one of my biggest goals or wishes, to actually have a Fisky comic one day.
VTuber comic. I think Merryweather Comics might be a good place to start. But yeah, talking about corporate VTubers, obviously they're smaller than just Nijisanji or Hololive. Like Chat is saying, Cloud9 has Vienna. Crunchyroll has also, right, the VTuber mascot. Also, I started it with the Merryweather Comics. Although we don't, I'm more on the convention side than a mascot. So you know, I think there will be more of these kind of relationships between collaborations and the VTubers. You know, not necessarily like talent agencies.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Just different kind of collabs, but also as long as it's kind of fits, and I do think that does fit for like Crunchyroll or esports teams, for example. There's just a lot of synergy over there, and I think those kind of things feel right. Maybe it would be weird if there's somehow a VTuber for some kind of bridge company or so. It would be a bit weird. Otherwise, it would be like a very cute looking bridge. But there's a lot of well, possibilities that could be really cool. And in the end, what matters the most is if there's like cool content created. And I'm a huge fan when it comes to the artist community, for example, and I would love to see more and more and more collaborations with the indie artists community and the VTuber community. I think there's a lot of awesome synergy potential there, which of course so far is already used in FANARTS and stuff like this, but maybe also anime or comic creation would be cool to actually be able to tell your story in a different way, or to have more in-depth and draw about your character, maybe even fan fiction created. There's so many cool possibilities that are out there now, and which I love to enjoy and discover.
It's true. If any Finnish corporations have any ideas, send me an email. My business email is down below.
I've got one for you right there. Husky sled riding in Finnish winter, and
oh my goodness.
You're a comfy wolf. You live in Finland, and actually, well, my plan was actually to go to Finland this year in February, but due to the pandemic, we kind of postponed that plan for maybe later this year, September or November. We want to go hunt the Aurora Borealis, but I really also wanted to go husky sled riding, because this is so cool. All the snow around you, and then you have the doggies in front of you, and just quiet nature around you. That is so cool.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities for VTubers to sprout out, but don't sign a contract that you haven't reviewed thoroughly, okay?
Otherwise, you find yourself selling NFTs, and you don't want to end up like that.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Very hot topic. Oi.
Yes, I'm burning my tongue, my fingers on this. Can feel it in the bottom of my
My
feet.
gosh.
Anyways, what's the next topic, I wonder?
That was kind of the last, at least main topic I had on my list. Yeah, because I kind of have we have looked back a bit, we have looked forward a bit. Do we have maybe a little bit of a summary? What you well, not just what you expect for the next year, but a summary of your past VTuber year 2021.
Oh my goodness, that's a mouthful. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I'm still having a lot of fun, and that's great. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm really snug and comfy, but I'm also pushing forward with the things that I do, trying to stay innovative and learning new stuff, like with the 3D tracking and everything, and going to conventions and stuff like that. I don't want the streaming to feel like that it's
like
not fun times.
Yeah.
So I wanna keep things funky and fresh, and I had a great year last year, even though world has been a real rougher on the edges. So, but I had a great year because I get to do this. I get to spend time with chat, and I think I wouldn't be anything without my community. So thanks goes to my loving community. Yeah.
Definitely. I can agree on that, and also would say gratification is that what I feel most about the past year, that I was able to find so many new friends with like you and Mary and Sif, but also all the German VTubers that I encountered over the past year. Sadly, some of them started and already left the community again, which is of course a bit sad to see. Sad indeed. But well, that just comes along the marathon ride, I guess. However, I do appreciate every single one of them. I appreciate the community that has been well, created around a little catboy and around this well, just like-minded people. So I just love to see more of that in the future. But gratitude is what I take mostly from this journey so far.
Yeah. Definitely. I hope within many years of, VTubing, gradually we can be like, oh my goodness gracious, Fisky. Oh, my back hurts so much. Will you say that? When we're like, We're like
One day.
old animal.
One day we're gonna be like Boomer Fisky, Boomer Lumi, and we're gonna be like old people, but well, we're rather, I guess, millennials rather, or are we Zoomers? Are we dancers? I don't know.
Maybe we're dancers.
But one day we'll see. Yeah, look back in 2021 when oh yes, there was like we were on Twitch back then, and now we are on Blob. We are all on Blob. It's a mixture of Twitter and VRChat and oh god, that would be honestly that would be rather scary. Twitter and VRChat in one. No, okay. Which was
Do you remember the hot tub meta? Hot tub when we were in the hot tubs? Yeah.
Hot tub meta. Oh god.
But I look forward to seeing what the future has to offer.
Absolutely. Maybe we can meet again in 1 year and see what has come forward.
Exciting. But let's meet before that, okay?
Yeah.
But it definitely would be fun to have a similar talk in a year to see what has changed.
Yes. The yearly summary of Lumi and Fisky for the state of the video community. Very, very serious talk. Very, very comfy, but also very serious. What has happened? What are the stonks? To the moon! VTuber stonks. Oh my god.
I guess we should ask if chat has any questions. Do you guys have any talking points?
Now is your time to ask questions if you have any that we can answer about your take on VTubing.
Yeah.
Grandpa Lumi, I love this. honestly, that's also a good point. VTubers don't age. Like maybe our voice ages, but not our outside. You can watch other streamers like Flash tubers. You can watch them age as they do content, and we never age.
Only the voice changes, but we can have a voice changer for that, you know.
Imagine.
Stop good old voice changer. Neuro is asking, why are you guys so wholesome? That's what we do here. Welcome to the Lumi and Fisky channels.
Say some VTubers to the core.
Who came up with this model's outfit? Fisky, oh, do you want to tell about something about your model?
Yes. I actually had my papa design it. I had some rough ideas that I wanted to portray. I want to have lots of little, well, let me show, cute little paws on here, on my outfit and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I like cute outfits, cute clothes. So I wanted to really embrace that. Also the cat. I'm kind of really digging into the whole catboy cat topic. So yeah, that was kind of one of my main goals, and I really just like comfy and cute clothing, either Harajuku style, like Japanese outfits, but also like comfy and cute clothing like overalls, or maybe even femboy clothing. There's also something I think it's really cute.
Oh,
and I'm actually getting a maid
dress. Fisky in a maid dress.
This is actually happening right now. Like it's being produced as we're speaking.
Oh, exciting! So for my outfit, I usually base my clothes on a Finnish something from Finland. I obviously have a handful of outfits at this point, but this one is based on the Finnish Iron Age outfit, like a historical outfit. So I always want to sprinkle a little bit of Finnishness in my design. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another question is, do either of you have any interest in signing with an agency? Fisky, you go first. Are you an agency boy?
Well, I have discussed this with myself many times already. Like internally, like at nighttime in bed. As of now, if I got the opportunity, I would probably rather stay like this, to actually, be completely independent and do whatever I want. Of course, maybe it would be kind of exciting to have like a very huge community from the beginning, so on. But I would kind of also lose, I guess, would lose touch with what has been created so far, and I would miss that very much. And well, what would be the benefits of monetary gains, which I'm honestly not that interested in, as I've got already my dream job with Dokumi. And on the other hand, maybe restrictions. Maybe I couldn't do like collabs like this with you or with others from the German community as much as I could do now. And honestly, I really love collabs. It's one of the things I love most about being a VTuber, to just hang out with my friends on stream here together and do stuff. So maybe it also depends on the agency, but so far I've come to the conclusion that I would probably decide against it. I would probably like to collab with any kind of agency VTuber anytime soon again, like for example we did with the Kiara stream back then. I also well, again decided on actually joining the Dokumi team as a streamer. I started streaming in German once a week now on Dokumi TV, but I can still keep my whole independency. Is that a word?
Independency, yeah, that's a word.
And still do kind of agency VTuber stuff at some point, I guess. So I would rather keep it like this for now. How about you, Lumi?
Well, basically I could be seen as a Merryweather Comics VTuber, but I have never signed a contract. So between me and Mary, we have a long, over 10 years of friendship between us, and we decided to do this thing together. So while I am working with Merryweather Comics for conventions and stuff, I have complete freedom on how I run things, and I even make my own merch. So it's a thing. If people have been asking if I would want to join either Hololive or VSojo, I don't think I would feel comfortable giving up my freedom, because I am completely content and happy with this. Even though there could be like a monetary gain or gain in numbers or specific opportunities, I like doing things my way in an organic environment where I can learn myself and grow from like a ground up, you know. Yeah. So I think that's something that I am very passionate about. I've been talking about it for a very long time, like how passionate about my merch and stuff. So I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I'm completely happy the way the things are right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, the biggest drawback would be, for example, with Nichisanji or Hololive, you would have to get a new model or embrace a new personality, and this is, I think, the hugest drawback I have. Being Fisky or being Lumi is usually something that we it's some sort of our own personality and how we want to portray ourselves over here on the internet. So me wearing this outfit, me wearing this being a catboy, whatever, is core to myself. And if I just get like a new, well, shell, so to say, a new avatar, and the message, okay, you're gonna be this now, you're gonna be like mysterious now, no matter how cool the shell might look or how awesome it's produced and drawn, whatever, it would probably never be completely myself, and giving that up would maybe ruin a little bit on the fun of VTubing. So yeah, that's probably my biggest drawback on that, and why I would like to stay like this.
And I think I can speak for myself, but I'm definitely attached to my the way I look to you guys right now. I am definitely like attached to that. So to having to take away that or putting myself in another shell, quote unquote, doesn't sit right with me at the moment. Yeah. Maybe that'll change in the future. Who knows? Who knows? But at the moment, maybe we can ask in a year when I'm signing up with a contract to a company when we're having this talk in a year.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
But nothing wrong with having a contract. That's also valid, and there's different ways of doing VTubing. There's preferences in every one of us, you know?
Exactly. Also also it's a different kind of commitment and different kind of work. So it's not like you have it easier as a agency VTuber. Not at all. I would.
No.
Yeah, I would say it's probably even harder because you have more expectations to fulfill, and just if you do it just like this now, you can set the expectations for yourself, and then you might enjoy it more and not burn out as much, because that's a big danger for content creators. Burn out, not good. Stay comfy, please.
Yeah. Question: what is the best tool for live stream if you use PNG for VTubing? I've seen tutorials on YouTube, but I don't know what's the best. Yatsa, I have one program for you. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll if I can find it. If anybody has a question in between, you can ask. I have a program somewhere here.
I guess I would usually use Discord Reactive Images for that. At least if you have like 2 tools for PNGs, I guess.
Yeah, I think I have it somewhere here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It has a deer on the tutorial. But definitely, I think there's like Discord Reactive Images. Hey, there I go. I found it. Okay, I'm gonna post a link for the chat. This is what some of the VTubers use. Fisky, I'll also send it to you so you can also post it or review it. Here we go. Na.
Also, one question in my chat over here: has Lumi met Mephisto? Well, let me move a little bit to the side. Myself. One second. Oh wait, I'll just activate the cat cam. That's probably easier.
Cat cam. Oh yeah, I was seeing the cat cam from time to time. It's pretty cool.
Boy,
cat cam.
over here.
Cat cam.
Here, my little kitty Mephisto.
I see a fuzzy butt.
There you go. This is my little kitty Mephisto. I've got 2 cats. And he's always hanging out with me over here when I'm streaming or playing games. So he's also part of the stream ever since. Also, Fisky hand reveal.
That's so cute. I've done some handy cams from time to time. I decorated some cookies.
Oh,
and then it was a lot of fun. To do that. Also, but that's so cute. Please go check Fisky's kitty on his stream.
Put him on the top right corner so he can chill with us over there.
Can we get a cat cam too? No, I don't have pets, but if Pepsi Max is listening, or if Beppis is listening, I would like to have a Pepsi Max camera on my mini refrigerator, where I will every hour grab another can and give a thumbs up. Nice Beppis. Can I get a Beppis cam? That would be very cool.
That would be awesome. I want to see a little Bippy's pet. By the way, did you know that you actually taught me the word Bippy's in the end? Like, ever since I saw it in your streams and that you mentioned many times, I got so engraved in like the word Bippy's. I can't find any other words for these drinks anymore except for Bippy's. I love it.
It's Bippy's. Anyways, was there any more questions? Somebody's asking, how do you decide who to collab with? Is there any criteria to look for? Personally, if I don't know the person in any way, it's really hard for me to collab with them. I have to have some kind of I wish that nobody would send me a message out of the blue and ask for a collab. That has happened many times before. I think that's the only criteria to not to do.
Indeed. You should have a mutual basis or know each other for some while before you collab. I do have a weak spot for like models that I like, and I'm probably easier approachable when I just think, okay, this model is so cool, this person is so interesting. We haven't known each other that long yet, but okay, I'm down for it. But in general, I do also appreciate it more if it's a person I know and have interacted with before, either on Twitter or Discord or somewhere. Yeah. Also, then the collaborations are more fun.
Oh, hey, Monty, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, raiders. we're having a VTuber Metatalk. We're right now at the Q&A portion of it. We're talking about VTubing. Hello, my name is Lumi, and this is my German catboy friend from Germany. No, yes. Check them out. They're a very cute catboy.
Thank you. Welcome to the stream. We are right now in question time. So if you have any questions about VTubing, about the community, about well, a bit of an analysis, so to say, of what happened the past year, but also what we expect for next year, you are free to ask questions right now that you might be interested in.
Yeah.
By the way, did you have any favorite collabs over the past year? Like a special moment?
Definitely Project Melody. Miss Melody is definitely our Super Seducer series. Definitely has been one of my favorites. Yeah. That has been. I was very nervous about it, but so far so good. We're actually looking forward to playing Super Seducer 3, but sadly, that's something that we can't do in Twitch because it's banned on Twitch.
Oh no!
So we're gonna move on to another platform to do that. Hopefully, sometime soon. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Maybe YouTube instead, or I wonder if there's ever like gonna be a proper Twitch rival coming up, but this might take some time. Facebook gaming? Nope. Nope at all.
Yeah. Well, we shall see where we head over to stream.
Indeed.
But definitely wanna hang out with her more. Did you have any collabs that you remember or is your favorite?
Yes, I would say there are two that like I had many collabs that I truly enjoyed, but two really made me like laugh so much and such a long time that I well, there was actually my cheeks were hurting for it afterwards. The first one was my first collab with Ines, where we traveled over Germany, and this one was definitely the wildest stream I had in the beginning of my days. It was very, very wild, and I was laughing so much back then. And with Israel, also like an A-based VTuber, and we expected to stream for like maybe 1 or 2 hours. In the end, it became like 3 hours, and we were laughing so much all the time that I basically named the title of the stream in the end, laughing till our cheeks hurt, because we were grinning so much. And yeah, they're both very charismatic VTubers, so that's probably why this happened.
I know them both, so I know that Ines is very chaotic.
Chaotic and funny. Absolutely hilarious.
But I want to collab more, but I've been so busy with the convention prep. Kind of have to choose what you stream when you have busy times with merch or conventions.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, finally conventions are coming back, and I'm so looking forward to that. And especially, well, we're gonna probably meet again at Dokumi in June. So it's gonna be fun. And by the way, thank you, Jason, for the raid. Thank you so much.
Hello, raiders. Hello. Welcome. But definitely, I want to collab more with people, but it's always a hassle when you're, I'm from Europe. So, the time zones between America and Finland is it's a little bit tricky, trying to maintain a healthy sleep schedule. That sometimes, doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens.
Oh god, this is kind of running a roulette. Healthy sleep schedule for VTubers this is a rarity nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember one thing when I had a collab with three other persons, and one of them was from Singapore, and one of them was from Europe, and I'm from Europe, of course, and another one was from the US, and to balance out this schedule was so tough, and in the end, the person from the US had to get up very early in the morning, and like at 7 or 8 a.m., which is prehistoric for VTubers. Like our day usually starts at 12 a.m.
But I definitely when I go to America in a week or so, I'm gonna bring my mini setup so I can perchance. I haven't planned that much, but I have a couple plans to stream if I have a strong enough connection on my computer on the internet. So I might do some collabs with the good old American VTubers, but we'll see about that. So when I'm in the same time zone, it's my chance to shine.
And you're gonna have your first travel stream then. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'll be abroad.
Actually, I'd also do think that invitationals for VTubers are gonna be more of a thing in the future for conventions. Again, as a maybe guest category, but also as a panelist, for example. I can definitely imagine this for this year, as traveling might still be difficult in some regards. So, working with VTubers is possible from all over the place, and they can still bring their content and the community to the place in a way. So that might be an interesting opportunity also. And again, I love seeing the convention sphere and the VTuber sphere get connected even more closely. There's a lot of synergy in that.
I'm also having a panel in Alabama Con. I'm gonna have my own panel about VTubing. So I am especially nervous about that, but I think it'll be fine, you know?
Yes.
Everybody's wearing masks, so I can't see their face. I can't see their faces, but I'm looking forward to that because it's something that is very, very something that I've really wanted to do. Another thing that I wanted to do is having a real life concert or do a couple sing-song songs. Also, there's a question. How are you guys getting the guest avatar onto the show? Usually in these programs in VC Space and VTube Studio, you can put a green screen on there and you can just share it via Discord, like a webcam.
Indeed. Well, use Discord for that, and all this stuff like OBS Ninja that you can use, and with that you can have multiple people on camera, and for example even in the same stream. So if you don't know it, Lumi is online streaming right now, and I'm streaming right now. So each of our channels are working right now. We have maybe different backgrounds, but you can see each other over here on stream and just hang out together. Wait. Which means we're kind of cloning ourselves. Lumi! We are cloning ourselves!
Yeah, we're cloning ourselves. But when we first started, I think Discord wasn't as good, and then there came on OBS Ninja, where actually you can put a scene which you both control. With the sharing, you can both move yourself in the same scene. But I think this will also develop. In the upcoming years, we're gonna have more tools to share the avatars to other people, you know.
Absolutely. I'm kind of curious on what kind of technological advances we will discover that we cannot really expect yet, but which will totally change our ways of VTubing. As again, this is just the beginning. It felt like such a journey already, but what's 1 to 2 years when it comes to content creation or at any kind of journey that you do? Just consider where we might be in 10 years, and I'm so hyped for even the sword alone. I don't know where we will be at that point, but I do think there's a lot of exciting stuff that's coming up for the next years.
Definitely. Also, Theo, we are not you can post link in my chat. You can contact me in Discord, okay, afterwards. Yeah. Hey, Amarisuki, thank you. Yuri-san, thank you so much for the raid. Hello. There's Leopard Crime Stinky Leopard raid. Hello, raiders.
Hello.
Hello. Anyways, thank you you, Fisky, for the comfy podcast. I actually, it was really easy to talk with you.
Yeah, likewise. I was really glad that we could share our insights here, and honestly, you're the perfect person for this podcast, for this format, because you're very experienced. You have a lot to tell, very interesting perspective, and I hope we could also share our thoughts from our perspective to many people out there who might be more and more curious about VTubing or the whole phenomenon as such. So, thank you so much, Ludi, for taking your time and joining us here in the Cozy Catboy Corner.
Yeah, somebody said it was a good podcast. Yeah, it's a podcast. Thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. Please check out our comfy friend Fisky from Germany. So I guess we'll see each other next year then, Fisky. Okay, looking after. Hopefully before that.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll definitely meet each other at Dokumi, and who knows, even before that, maybe, honestly, I do want to go to Finland this year and get to see the Aurora Borealis too. I might ask you for some tips as a professional Finnish person.
Oh, yes, I'm professional Finnish. Oh, yes. Anyways, please have a lovely rest of the evening, okay?
Likewise. Thank you so much, and please check out Lumi. You might have already known her, but she's a very, very comfy wolf girl and one of the comfiest and loveliest persons I've ever seen. So please check her out. I promise you will not regret. You will be thanking me for this later on, Fisky. Yes. Thanks for.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Sean. I'll catch you later, okay?
Yes. Have a good day and good evening.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.